Daf Samach Daled of Torah Ohr, and the Maimon we're learning today begins at the end of Daf Samach Gimel, based on the pasuk in Shir Hashirim in the first parak, which says "L'susasi b'rechvei Pari dimisicha rayasi," to the horses of Pari's chariots, and this word dimisicha can be translated as either Rashi gives two translations. Either my beloved is quiet, is silenced, or that my beloved, I demonstrated that you are my beloved. So somehow Hashem is saying, at least in the second interpretation, Hashem is saying to the Jewish people that through the horses of Pari's chariots, I demonstrated my love to the Jewish people. So now, this word to misicha, to demonstrate, is also to used as a metaphor. So we could read this pasuk also that the horses of Pari's chariots are to misicha. They're compared to Rayasi, my beloved, and therefore we have to understand why. Now, the Zohar says that when Pari was chasing after the Jewish people, so originally, as he was chasing them, and then they ended up meeting at Krias, so he had the female horses first, and then as he was approaching, he changed it and had the male horses first. And in a similar way, so Hashem was originally going before the Jewish people as they were escaping from Egypt, like it says that Hashem that Hashem was going before them yom by day. And then when they actually got to the Yam Suf, right before the splitting of the sea, it says that the Malach of Hashem that was traveling before the camp moved to travel behind the camp. So again, we have this switching, just like we have the horses switching around, male in front, first female in front, and male in the back, then male in front, female in the back. And so too with Hashem in front of the camp of the Jewish people. First we have Hashem in front, and then the Jewish people, and then it swaps around. So we need to understand how Hashem's beloved, the Jewish people, are connected to the horses of Pari, are compared to the horses of Pari. So the idea of a horse is that on one hand, you control the horse. The rider controls where the horse goes. On the other hand, the horse can take it further than where the rider can go by itself. So this is similar to words, that on one hand, the words, they're not independent. They only express the ideas in the mind and heart. On the other hand, when you speak, it develops those ideas so you understand better, and you have the emotion becomes solidified more than before you speak. So the words also take the intellect and the emotion further than where it would go by itself. So when a person davens, so then he has this experience that the davening expands his passion, but still, before davening, he needs to first have hisbonenus. He has to first reflect about Hashem in order to develop the feeling, and not just rely on when he speaks, it will become passionate. Except for someone who's not able to have hisbonenus, is not able to focus his mind on ideas that will bring him to love of Hashem. So then he can just rely on saying the words of davening and hoping that will create an emotion. Like it says, Hashem told Noach to come into the teva, to engross, which like the Baal Shem Tov explained, to engross himself in the words of Tefillah and Torah. And through the words, and hopefully will have an impact, and he'll be able to elevate. But the pasuk says, Leib versus Yechpat, like we said also in the previous mimer, that Hashem doesn't, although horses, which refer to words, so they can accomplish a lot, but still Hashem doesn't want, Hashem doesn't desire the strength of horses, that still the words are not the ultimate, but what Hashem wants is Reis Hashem as of those who fear Hashem. Now, Yerushalayim is beyond the words of Tefillah and Torah. Next paragraph in Yesh. So now two types of words, just like we spoke about male and female horses. There's male and female words. What does that mean? The female words is like the female's the makabel, the recipient. The male is the mashpia. The female is within and more involved in the detail, integrated, whereas the male represents being above, being just looking at things from the outside rather than sort of being integrated and nurturing from the inside. So the female words is from below to above. And therefore, in terms of our relationship with Hashem, it says Rosh arousal from above, and then that elicits a reaction from above, and this Rosh arousal from above from Hashem, which is Hamshacha down to us. So our efforts are mamale, whereas in others it's based on the relationship with Hashem that we're able to have within our level, whereas then the response from Hashem is eisev, which is beyond what we understand, what we can understand, and beyond our limits. So to have a revelation of Hashem down here beyond what we could get, and with our own efforts, and this is like the male horses. So this is with the words of Torah that they bring Hashem to fill the world beyond what we could reach ourselves. So we find that on one hand, Hashem's the pasuk says it's quoted that Hashem's glory fills the whole earth. On the other hand, it says, as Ani Mali, I feel. So is it just Hashem's glory, or is it Hashem himself? So they're both true. That really Ani Mali, really Hashem's essence fills heaven and earth, but on the other hand, this world is so materialistical, and godliness is so concealed in this world, and therefore, how can Hashem be enclosed in this world? So, this is through Kvaydei, through Hashem's glory filling the earth. Then Hashem Himself can fill the earth. What is His glory? It's Torah. That Kaved is the numerical value of 32, and there are 32 parts of Chachma, of wisdom, which this is the wisdom of Torah. So 32 connects to Torah. And Iraisa comes from Chachma. So again, Chachma, which is 32, there are 32 pathways of Chachma is connected to Torah. And through the earth being full of Torah, so then Hashem himself can fill the earth as well, despite the materialism and the low spiritual state. So through Torah, which is the male words, in other words, Torah is from Hashem's perspective. Tefillah is from our perspective. So through Torah, which is Hamshacha, from above to below, so then Hashem's able to fill the earth. Like it says that when we learn Torah, Hashem learns Torah opposite us. Although Chachma, even Chachma is only Asiyah compared to Hashem. So despite Chachma being like nothing, like Asiyah compared to Hashem, but still through Torah, Hashem himself is brought down to be manifest in the world. Now, it says about Torah, this is a pasuk in Habakkuk, that Kisirkav, also Secha, it says, that when you ride on horses, your chariots of salvation, and this pasuk is talking about Matan Torah, and it talks about this is the male horses running, galloping, and similarly it says at the Matan Torah that Hashem came down onto the mountain. So this is all the idea of Hamshacha, that Hashem responds to us trying to come up to Hashem with Hashem coming down. So that's our female horses, then connecting to Hashem, so to speak, male horses. In other words, that's a mashpia from above to below. And just as with in Kedusha, there's these two types of horses, the female words and male words. In other words, our words sending up to Hashem, and then Hashem's response back to us. So similarly in Klippa, you have these two levels that that when a person connects to the just futility of the world with just babbling about nothing, or even worse, speaking Lashon Hara, so that is our words. So in other words, the female words, and then the response from Hashem. So when we do our part in a wrong way, so it elicits a similar response from above, to have even more bad. That the male horses are just to create dirty garments for us, which surround us and encompass us. This is now the pasuk says at Krias Yamsuf that Paroh Radav, that Paroh was chasing after the Yidden. That Paroh was chasing, and he wanted to bring the Yidden into the depths of Klippa, and therefore that's why he put the female horses first, because he wanted that Hashem responded with his horses, which are the words. The female horses are the words of Tefillin, male words of Torah. Female is Halah, elevating up to Hashem, and male is Hamshacha, bringing down from Hashem. So instead of bringing down the makif of Klippa, we bring down the makif, the beyond of Kedusha, through our Torah. And so now this is the meaning of the story in Torah. And the same applies also in avodah Hashem, because all of us have the Yetzias Mitzrayim, have the Exodus inside ourselves, and have to live with Yetzias Mitzrayim personally. And like we mentioned in Shema, we say that Hashem is Ani Hashem Lekechem, Hashem your God, who took us out from Egypt. And then the next paragraph, we say the Yams of Lembakata. We talk about how Hashem split the sea for us. This is something ongoing that we have to have both levels each day. So now Mitzrayim means limitations and boundaries, and the world in general is limited, and both in place and in time. And so now Galus Mitzrayim, the exile of Mitzrayim, is when we get stuck and we get deeply attached to the physicality of this world. And then the king of Egypt, Paroh, represents the psyche of within Klippa, within being intellect, within being involved in the just futile matters of this world. Because intellect is like the king, which leads, and therefore the king of Mitzrayim is king of Gashmis. So when a person goes beyond seichel in his being sunken into the materialism, that would be called the king of Mitzrayim dying. And the pasuk says that when the king of Mitzrayim died, so then the Jewish people moaned from the hard work, and they cried out. This means they cried out when we're stuck in materialism without any intellect, without any limits. So then we cry out to Hashem with saying Shema, and in a way of bchol, like we say in Shema, beyond our limits, b'li to get out of this Mitzrayim and to return to Hashem. So how do we get to this bchol, this state of we're going to go beyond our limits to connect to Hashem? So it's through the whole process of davening. So we start with Pesukah de Zimra, with starting with Baruch She'amar, and then all the halakas, and going all the way till Yishtabach. We talk about how Hashem's greatness, and how everything about Hashem is nothing. It's energized the whole time by Hashem. And then especially even more in the brachas of Shema, where we talk about how the the malachim, they praise Hashem and forever, because although this world is limited, but spiritual spheres are unlimited, and therefore the malachim and the neshamas can praise Hashem in an unlimited way there. And so that's very kadeshim yishabach shem chala'ad, and they're only praising Hashem's name. Now there's a difference between the way Hashem energizes the world versus the way in general someone would make something move or accomplish something. So normally there's koyach hapel benifel. It has to be the power of the actor in what he is making move in order to affect change. But with Hashem, there's no change, because he's not nitfas, he's not grasped within what his within what he is bringing into existence or energizing. So Hashem stays beyond, like we say in the bracha the first bracha before Shema Hamrei Mamlavade, that Hashem is aloof, alone, and Misnasim Maisalam is beyond creation. So what energizes creation? It's only Shema, only his name, and how Hashem as Melech, as King. And even as Hashem creates through a name, in other words, not with that it's not changing Hashem, but even that name is also bchol, is also unlimited. Next paragraph. So once a person reflects on these ideas, on how Hashem is totally unlimited and unchanged, and so then he will through creations, and he'll come to an Ahavah, a love of Hashem bchol with all his might. He'll just want to connect to the real thing, to try to jump out, to escape this darkness and the shackles of materialism and connect to Hashem. And so through the person's effort, and this is the female letters, so then Hashem responds with the male letters, so to speak, with the mashpia, giving over. And this is the difference between, in the first paragraph of Shema it says v'ahavta, in the second paragraph it says lava. In Vahim Shemaya we say lava Elikechem. So the difference is that there's different types of verbs. So when you say v'ahavta, that's our effort. Love Hashem, where it's called a Paroh Yotza, we're doing something, it's connecting to the next word, it's moving, we're accomplishing. And then lava is that same word Ahavah. It could be a noun or a verb, and that's where it's not like such an active moving noun, but it's on the other hand it's infinitive, so it's connecting to beyond infinite. So that's like the love from beyond, which comes down from Hashem through our effort first. And this is the idea of Rotziv, Shuv, that we jump up towards Hashem and yearning to Hashem, and then Shuv, then Hashem directs us back down and brings back his light back down upon us. And through this, we're able to say in the Vahim Shemaya, we say vinasati eisev, we say I will give rain. So in other words, we're talking on behalf of Hashem, which is crazy. This is because Hashem has been mamshich his light down to us, so therefore we can speak, so to speak, on Hashem's behalf, first person about Hashem. And that's the idea also of Torah, which Torah is Hashem's word. And when we say words of Torah, Hashem is speaking through our mouth and speaking and saying the same Torah with us. And that's why it says about learning Torah, it says v'dibarta bom, you should speak in them. It doesn't say you should speak those words, but in them. That we are like the king, we are like Hashem giving over his decree when we learn Torah. So that's the bomb in them, that we're actually giving over the words of Torah. And that's why it uses the word anochi right in the pasuk right before. Anochi refers to essence, Hashem's essence, and therefore, because through Torah we connect Hashem's essence, therefore we could say later on in that I will give the rain. And then Shema concludes in the third paragraph, with Ani Hashem Lekechem, I am Hashem who took you out of Egypt. So this is the idea of getting out of all limitations. And this is all from the male letters that come after and as a response to the female letters. Next paragraph, Achine. But then we have another level of male letters, which is not even a response to the female letters. It's just a gili from above, revelation from above. Now, this is a concept of Krias Yamsuf, because like we said in the previous moment, that the sea has everything that the land has. It has the vegetation and animals. The only difference is that in the sea they're concealed and on land they're revealed. So the land represents Alma Diskalia, the revealed world, and the sea represents Alma Diskasia. And within the person himself, the higher level, the cause is compared to Alma Diskasia, the hidden world, and then the effect is the Alma Diskalia, the revealed world. So, for example, seichel, intellect, which is what we think, our perspectives lead to our emotions. So the intellect is the hidden world, and then the emotions are the revealed world. And similarly, thought compared to intellect. So intellect is our perspective, and thought is when we actively use it and reveal what's going on in our minds. So that also, the thought is the revealed world compared to seichel, the hidden world. Or speech is even more gilui than machshava. So that's even more the revealed world. And like Isaiah says that thought, you could have a lot of thoughts, and so in other words, it's more abstract and more hidden than speech, because and therefore speech is called revealed compared to machshava. And throughout Hishalshalos, you have this chain of level to level, and as you go down or level to level, it's more and more revealed. As you go up, it's more and more the concealed, representing the concealed world. And depending what you're comparing, you could call any level either revealed compared to what is above, or concealed compared to what is below it. But Hashem himself, at essence, is not like higher or lower, it's just totally beyond. And there, darkness and light is all the same compared to Hashem. So next paragraph, so at Krias Yamsuf, there was a revelation of Hashem's essence, and so that sea and dry land would be the same thing compared to Hashem. Now it says that with Mashiach, again, we'll have this idea of the sea turning to dry land, and we'll cross it by foot. So the idea is that the splitting of the sea, both with Krias Yamsuf and with Mashiach, it's about what is normally concealed becoming revealed through a revelation of Hashem's essence that equalizes everything. Therefore, it says when Mashiach comes, Sham Nismecha Boy, they will be happy with him, with Hashem himself, because there'll be a revelation of Hashem's essence. And this being rejoicing with Hashem is Simcha Shel Mitzvah, the joy that comes together with doing a mitzvah. Like the pasuk says at the end of the Teichacha, that Tachas Levad Hashem Lekecha, since you didn't serve Hashem b'simcha with joy, may Rov Kol, when you had everything. So Rov Kol refers to his Hishalshalos over the page, which is Rov, which there's a lot of levels. It's like an onion that has peel after peel after peel. That's like a Hishalshalos, so you can keep on going higher and higher and higher, or low, low, low. But whereas Simcha Shel Mitzvah, the joy that comes from doing a mitzvah, so mitzvahs connect Hashem's essence, and that's not just Hishalshalos, a level up or another level up, but it's just Hashem's essence, which is beyond all levels. And therefore, when we rejoice with Hashem, which is like it says, through doing mitzvahs of the Torah, so then we bring down this essence into the world. So when we do a mitzvah, we say that Hashem sanctified us through his mitzvahs. The mitzvahs are like the 248 mitzvahs are the 248 limbs. And just as with neshama, with the soul, so we can't hold a soul, you can't grab a soul. But when we move the person, we're moving the person's soul as well. The soul goes with the body. And similarly with the mitzvahs, so the mitzvah, we do a mitzvah, grabs Hashem as well. And so we could use the right hands, which is like tzedakah and kindness, or the left hand, which is self-control, iskafia, conquering one's Yetzirah. And that has Hashem in it. And with all the mitzvahs and all Torah, we have Hashem in it. And therefore, this brings to great joy from connecting to Hashem's essence. This is not irrational, which is according to the irrational, an arousal from above, according to the arousal from below, because that's all within hishalshalos, within different levels and revelations. But here we're talking about Hashem's essence. And therefore, it's just a pure irrational beyond what we deserve, what we brought out ourselves. And that's why at the time of Krias Yamsuf, when there was this simcha, this joy from connecting to Hashem's essence beyond what we deserved or what we could even elicit from above. So therefore it says, Moshe said, why are you crying to me? So this depends on Atik, which Atik is like the revelation of the essence of the matzah of Hashem himself. And that's what was reached and what was revealed at the time of Krias Yamsuf.